What's up, guys? What's up? Good day, good afternoon. It is a hot day here in the T.O. And I just want to welcome you to another episode of course, your favorite Facebook show, at least one of them. Of course, this is Cacoa Tea. So if you're just joining us, I want to say good afternoon to you and thank you so very much for joining. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but guess what? You chose to be right here with me. And for that, I must say I appreciate you. So thanks again for joining us wherever you are locked in. I want to say special good afternoon to my folks who always support the vibe every single week. You always tune in and you show your support. I am so very grateful to have you on with me. And of course, if you're just locking in, let me know that you're on. Send me a little, something. Tell me what's up. Let me know where you're tuned in from, where you're representing. Drop your flag, drop a rag, drop a note, drop something to let me know that you are here with me on Cacoa Tea. My name is Jael. For those of you who don't know, if it's your very first time joining, and if it is your first time, if I just plucked your cherry, welcome to Cacoa Tea, and thanks for being here with me. Today, got an exciting show for you. We have a gentleman. I mean, if you from the nature island of Dominica, especially if you're from Posse, that's Portsmouth, the second town in Dominica. If you're from Posse, then you know who that person is. So we're going to be talking to the Chantman in just a little bit. But before we do that, we gotta, of course, shout out our folks out there in the BIM, aka Barbados, because you know what's going down this coming crop over. It's gonna be massive. It is crop over this coming end of July. Well, into August, the long weekend of August. For those of you in Toronto, you know what I'm talking about. But Capriculture has partnered up with me, and they're giving you an opportunity to win a free costume from Capriculture. All you got to do is share a few hashtags. All you got to do is follow 2 Instagram pages and Facebook pages, and all you got to do is subscribe to The Plug, which is our podcast log, and you could be rocking a Capriculture costume come this crop over and jamming with the hottest band on the streets of Barbados. That is this coming crop over. So I want to encourage you, if you have not done so as yet, you got a chance to do it. If you have not followed and shared and subscribed, you have a chance now to win yourself a free costume. So go ahead and do that. I want to say good afternoon to my folks out there in BIM locked in. Crystal is locked in BIM. I like she put on there. I also want to say good afternoon to Megan, who's locked in London. Good afternoon to El Hubs, that's Delbert Blanchard, and Dylan Coffey. Hi, Dylan. How are you? Dylan's locked in. Dylan, where you at? Yes, we got a few folks coming on, and I just want to thank you so very much for tuning in here to Cacoa Tea. I just want to give you guys a heads up, okay? The heads up is that this show may be a bit explicit because my guess is that kind of guy. his mouth is just like say things, right? And you know, it's very hard. I'm a bit explicit myself. I just know how to tone it down when I need to. But you know, when they choke you, you know, like we West Indians say, when they choke you, sometimes it's hard for you to just not react. So if you, of course, gonna be on, excuse me language, because it might be a bit explicit. Dylan is locked in from St. Lucia, and of course, we're gonna get started off here with another episode of your favorite show. My guest is sitting in the lobby, and I'm checking him out right now because he doesn't really know that I'm checking him out, and he's there making sure his eyebrows on fleek. his mustache on flake. My boy greasing up his hand, making sure he not ashy. You must see those things, but the things people do when they don't know you're watching them. So I'm gonna get him on in just a little bit. And he's someone that I've known since my childhood days. Believe it or not, I've known this dude like forever. He's grown so much. Um, very, very, very super, super, super proud of the person that he has become. He's gone a long way, believe it or not. He's gone a real long way, and he's going to be joining us in a little bit. So we're going to get this party started. All right. So don't forget, guys, if you have not followed Capriculture and Jael, do so right about now. Also, be sure to subscribe to the podcast that is jaeljoseph.com/plog. Go on there and you can get all of the latest videos and the audio. Yo, guys, before I even like let me let you guys know, you can actually see this show after on my website. So if you missed the show or if you didn't get to finish, you could always go on there and finish. And don't forget to drop a little note. Tell me something, let me know if you're liking it. Let me know if I suck. Let me know if you if I should will and come again. Give me some constructive criticism on the plug. So don't forget to do that for me. It's also available on iTunes, on Castbox, on Listen Notes, to name a few other places that you can actually get the podcast. All right. So we're getting ready for my guest who's here with me. I just want to, again, shout out Martina, who's locked in. Martina Roye is locked in from New York. Hi, Martina. How you doing? Wishing you all the best. Hope you're having an awesome day today. My guest is getting ready to come on here with me. I'm going to say good afternoon to hi.
Hey, what's going on?
Brother.
Everything good? What's up?
First of all, look at his name. Now, that name says Aken Amentil. Akel Amentil. We're gonna have to talk about where that name come out, why you have that name on your social media. Who is Aken?
I'm into like if I just to be honest, that's just a random name I chose to make a Facebook account because I didn't want to have my personal page and my fan page get mixed up because I was starting to get people just focusing on my personal page and I really wanted to kind of have the people who support me focus on like a fan page to kind of show the support and help build the thing. So that's really the truth behind how can I do it. I know the other night I told you it was like a Sasha Fierce type thing, but I made up on the fly.
I kind of like the Sasha Fierce aspect of things. I prefer the Sasha Fierce.
Yeah, like a.
I prefer that. That other explanation is whack.
Right. But yeah.
Guys, we're joining here with the Chantman. I want to say good afternoon to you. I like to start off my show, introducing who the guest is, how I've known them, how I've met them, this and that and the other. Don't forget, you can leave your comments and your notes at the bottom. You can just drop your questions. If you have anything that you want to, ask the guests, you can do that at any time. Of course, just make sure you have your Cacoa Tea. You have a Cacoa Tea now?
Yeah, cold Cacoa Tea that day. Cold Cacoa. It's too hot to have it, you know what I mean? So I put it in the fridge.
What's that? A cold cocoa?
Yeah, cold Cacoa Tea.
Cacoa Tea, yes. So we're getting ready to go. I could get into a lot of things. I could give you his long bio about who he is, and how he's become the Chantman or everything. But I think I want to talk I want to let the conversation do all the talking, so we can get to know a little bit about who the Chantman is. And I might slip up a few times and call him his other name, because I've known him so long. So if I slip up,
Oh, God.
excuse excuse my slip ups. Eh,
Woo.
What you laughing? What you laughing me for?
Yeah, yeah. Well, all right, do your thing. Do
All
it.
right. So first of all, tell us who is Chantman.
Chantman. Chantman is a musician, musical artist, visionary, somebody that care about the community that he's from. So he's trying to take his opportunity right now and maximize it so that he can come back one day and help everybody else that have the same type of talent to give them an avenue so they can express their talents. Because a lot of people that I grew up with have talents that's not necessarily geared towards the academical structure of our society, and so that's a big part of what I do. And I do random paintings, like the paintings you've seen across all around. I do that, and I'm starting to think about getting into ceramics and stuff like that. So Chantman, that's who Chantman is. Mm-hmm. Just a
I,
area of art, and there to help other people who have the same type of talent get to the next level.
I see you rocking your pineapple shirt. Yeah.
Mm.
You know what they say about pineapple, eh?
Yeah, but well, like pineapple. if if the woman pineapple, I not about it. That's basically
Pineapple.
hot, hot, hot climates breed juicy things. Simple as that.
Belle Beef. Belle Beef.
Yeah, exactly.
Chapman, tell us where you were born. Give us a little bit of background as to who you were, and I kind of sort of want you to tell me who you were from the time you were born, where you lived and stuff, and to about 6 years. Note I say 6 years. I know why I say 6 years. I want you to stop on age 6. So give me a little bit of background on this.
Okay, so background. So when you say background, I have to start before myself. So my dad is half Antiguan, half Dominican. My mom is Dominican and a little bit of Guadalupe and stuff from Riviera Syria. They had me in Saint Martin, right? SM, Saint Martin, right? After I was about 12 months or so, they brought me to DA, to my grandmother's house in Dale. I was in Aussie. And she raised me with Patsy, which was my cousin who helped raise me. And then I went to preschool in Zikak. If you're from Aussie, you're in DA, from the north, you know where Zikak is. I went to preschool in Zikak. And then I went to St. John's School in Posse, right by the church. By the Catholic Church, and I went. Yeah, so when I went to St. John's School, I became 6 at some point, I guess, and we can say.
I know we got some folks to send in some love. We don't want to forget that we have folks coming on. Megan is on, saying no Cacoa Tea in London. Send me some, please. She also don't forget me. At age 6, I was there also.
Oh, so yeah, so Joanne, she from there I was into. Not too many people from there I was in, but she's one of them. And she was friends with my cousin, Portia and Patsy, who I guess they were cool, and she used to walk me to school or something like that. Is what I can remember with Joanne is what I know her for. I don't know whether Megan come out, but yeah,
Okay. Now, so you were raised in Portsmouth,
right.
right? If you were to if we were to probably come across your classmates right now
Mhm.
and ask your classmates who was the chant man, what would they say?
Okay. Well, we're talking about six, before six still?
Uh, we've passed six. You,
We've
we're on the
moved
next
to,
question. Yes.
okay. So, and what's the age limit
It
on
does.
the
It
question?
doesn't matter. Any classmate.
Any classmate? Okay. So, I think they will say, I was, what would they say? I don't know. I know what I would say, but what they would say is, I guess, he was vocal with his whatever he was thinking. And I think they would say, um, I think a lot of the guys would say he was a lame. I think they would say that. To be honest with you.
Why would you say that they would say that?
Um.
Tell me, was there something that you experienced, in class?
Well, to be honest with you, growing up in Posse is some like if you don't have a parent or a family that has some sort of material stuff, you find you get pressured, or they call it press. They'll press you a lot. So I feel like I was pressed a lot. Um, just on the simple fact that I didn't have like the material things like Nikes and Reeboks and the fly shirts with the Lacoste symbol and stuff like that. Um, but I think other people would say he was smart and he was talented. But I think it's a mix of that. Yeah, just being honest. Yeah.
Okay. What was one of some of your favorite things to do growing up?
Say that again.
What was some of the your favorite things to do growing up?
Favorite things to do, honestly, I like performing. Before that, I used to like to play soccer, football. Actually, there's a little kid running around playing soccer as soon as you asked me that question in the back right there. So, that swimming, I used to like swimming and shooting bird and stuff. I like going in the jardin. Like we had friends, so Pee Wee, man like Richmond, we're talking about Wilfred, Puda, um, Collies, you know, real core people. I used to enjoy the moments of like the neighborhood dudes like going out and shooting PP and them things. I really used to enjoy that. Playing marble under the mango tree and stoning mango, coming out of school. I enjoyed them things growing up. And yeah,
People don't do that anymore, kids.
I don't know if they do, but I know I don't. Right. Yeah, I used to enjoy that, and obviously the sports. Everybody was kind of involved in sports back then. I used to like the fun days. They had blue house, yellow house, green house, red house, and then I was blue house.
I was yellow.
Yeah, yeah. We used to put licks on yellow.
Yellow. No, yellow was assembly, but behave yourself.
But
Yellow was the best
blue house
assembly.
was the hero.
Let me tell you something. Assembly was the best house in PSS. And if you went to PSS
Well,
and
who's
you
gonna
like,
ask?
oh, drop it and let us know. It was
I
blue
don't.
was Murphy, and I think red was Kyrie.
Right. Wait, red was Kyrie. I can't remember what red was, but I know it was Murphy, and Murphy was the powerhouse.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Assembly it. I don't care
So
what you said.
thing like lime and spoon, I used to like
Mhm.
to just them little different things that really was part of me growing up. Like I didn't even really think about that, but
Did
now
you
that
have fun
you asked the
as a
question,
kid?
I kind of like what I really went back to catch it. Yeah.
Did you have fun as a kid? Would you say you had a lot of
Um,
fun?
for the most part, my grandmother was kind of like a strickler. So she would be like, nobody can come at your house. So my father one time sent a Nintendo gain control from me and everything. My grandmother refused to allow my neighbors to come and play with me because she was like, yo, this and that, and you follow this one and that one and this and that. So fun. I guess when I was at school, I used to try to have fun, but I used to get pressed so much. I used to want to go home. So,
When you say press, do you mean like were you bullied at school? Is that what you mean?
but yeah, I think I was bullied until I became a bully myself.
Really? Tell us a little bit about that.
Um, the regular suspects when they watch that replay, they'll know who I talking about. But they will talk about the dumbest stuff and just like destroy your whole focus while you're in the classroom. They'll talk about your head shape. They'll talk about your shoes. They'll talk about do they'll talk about you not having this and what is the name of your shoes. They will talk about your shirt. They will talk anything. You know what I mean? And it was all in the attempt to just kind of break you down in a sense. But then after a while, I was like, yeah,
You
break.
got you can join them.
Yeah, I kind of like became friends with them after a while because I was like, well, all I have to do is kind of like respond in a way, and then once I respond a couple of times, I realized it was like trying to involve me when they was making joke of somebody else.
So you were a clown.
And then, we start rolling together. Them dudes know themselves. But, I guess all kids go through that in a sense, but it kind of um, had a serious impact on how I saw myself and how I decided to be nowadays. But yeah.
What sort of impact did it have on you?
Um, it made me have the wrong sense of security in myself. It made me feel like unless I was able to do such and such. Okay, so for instance, growing up without my father or my mother, I was just with my grandmother. It was it was hard for you to have a conversation with somebody when you come home, like about what happened during your day. It's your grandmother doing everything alone, taking care of so many different things. Like I don't know, I just you don't have nobody to really talk to at home. So you go to school, learn, do your homework. You go home. Your boy is the only thing you have. So um, the impact it had on me was just kind of made me just kind of resilient. It just kind of made me rebellious. But it did make me strong and realize that I didn't need material things to make an impact in the world. And that's when I think I found my talent.
Tell us a little bit about your talent.
So one of these individuals specifically, I'm gonna call his name because you know what? I'm afraid. McIntyre Mills, better known as Beggar in Portsmouth, right? He was one of the key individuals that used to run the press string. But in the same token, we in the classroom, whenever we distracted the class, we would use music. So we would try to beat on the desk and sing popular songs, and then it would bring a gathering around. So I think that also helped me realize that there was something within me that was of great value. And then I started to kind of zone in on it and become part of different groups and stuff and learn to write, and sing it out, and people start messing with it. So yeah.
How did you get your name?
Chantman. Chantman was Jackman first because my first name Jackie. Um, just put up,
Jackie!
yeah, because it was Elephant Man, Yellow Man, Beanie Man, and then it was Skinny Bantan. Or Skinny Bantan was. I'll get to Skinny Bantan later, but That's how I put the Jack and the man and boom Jackman. But then Jackman wasn't really no real meaning to it except just a name break and add a man to it. So then once I started developing my style and my sound, it was more like a chanting style. So that's all you get the chant man. That's the real talk on that.
So why did you decide to go into music? Because you could have um done anything with your life. Why
It's just a feeling inside. I think it's a selfish. It's something that I feel, and I feel like you know when I go into an empty room with nothing, and I spend a little bit of time, and then I just sing into a mic, and then it makes something that somebody else can feel and vibe to. It's just kind of like it gives me more meaning. I feel like it gives me a better sense of accomplishing something than to just clock in on a job and just do what somebody else tell me to do. You know, I mean, I'm not saying that I'm opposed to doing that because I've done that and doing that still, but the sense of accomplishment that I feel when I make a piece of music or I just do a random painting or something like that is like second to none. So I feel if individuals out there can make a career out of it, why not? So I was like, okay, I'll do that. And so far, so good. It's been a long time, but it's coming. It's coming
were there anybody or did you have any mentors growing up who kind of sort of led you to music, or was it just something that just was part of you? You found it and then you just rolled with it. And if you had any mentors, who were they?
a mentor growing up that kind of put me to music and stuff. Nah, I would say me even considering that kind of happened kind of weirdly because we're talking about growing up in Posse. Everybody know that your parents tell me one thing and one thing only. Go to school, get an education, come out, get a job. All right? Go to school, get a job. You know what I mean? Okay, so I was going to school and I had big dreams. I wanted to do things like being a doctor, blah, blah, blah. But then academics just wasn't doing it for me. And then I remember in third form, you had to make a decision whether you want to do science or business. But I don't think you had the choice to make this decision. Arthur James tell me he was an arts student and you're going to be doing arts from here on out. Okay, arts comprised of things like socio and POB and everything. I wanted to do science. You hear me? So Mr. Arthur James, I don't know if I should tell you thank you or not, but hey, that happened. And I think not having to, I felt like because I was doing things like social studies and POB and stuff, I didn't really want to study as much because I felt like I could just remember what they say in the classroom and pass my test. So I would take that time now to dibble and dabble in other things. I tried sports real hard. Sports was cool, but I just didn't feel the vibe. And I think Miss Chandler Hyacinth, right? She was our principal at the time. She kind of sat me down one day and told me that I have a good gift and stuff, and that you know I should do whatever I can do with it. So I saw it as a green light to pursue that. But as far as a direct mentor, I didn't have nobody that was really mentoring me at the time. Well, in sports, if I had a sports mentor, it would be Joe Bob. So shout out to Joe Bob. But other than that, um, let's see, was that dude named Kanki? He was pretty good too with me on that whole, getting your stamina up and with sports. Yeah. But other than that, I didn't really have no real mentor for the music. No, I kind of love Skinny Bantam. That's where I can bring him in. Growing up in St. John's School, I was part of the choir, and being part of the choir, sometimes we used to go certain places and compete, whatever. I used to be part of the soprano crew, but as soon as I grew more and more, my voice changed. I didn't know what to do with it. So I saw what Skinny was doing with it. And then once I got onto Skinny, that's when I realized that there was Beanie and there was Ellie and there was Yellow and then, you know what I mean? And that's how I kind of go into it. Yeah.
Now, Chantman, would you say that growing up that it was all about academics, and do you think that is still the same case right now?
Yes, and I think that's why we're not getting to participate on a higher level as far as the economic benefits of things like sports and music and arts and stuff, because the focus is solely on, going and getting your CXC and come back out, and the best thing for you to do is either become a doctor or get a job with the government, and so I feel like that's a big part of them small islands. You really need to look at the bigger scale of things because they can participate on a really, really high level as far as talent is concerned. And we can reap the benefits from that if we teach that the opportunity exists a little bit more. So I think they need to change that immediately because if there was a music class, I would have done it, and maybe I would have been like a Beethoven or Vega, and I'm trying to discredit what Beethoven done, but if he was in a place where I had the opportunity for him to excel in his field, his story probably wouldn't have been the same. So I think, and that's a part of my drive. I want to be instrumental in creating that avenue for the next ones.
How important is it for you to succeed musically, and why?
Is the only well because I passed up on so many other opportunities by solely focusing on music. I don't have any choice but to be successful in it. So whether I be on the front end of it, that success in music, or on the back end of it as a producer or a marketing strategist or whatever, as far as my success in music is at this point inevitable. To answer your question.
Do you write your own material?
Yeah, I do.
All of it.
All of it.
Okay. And what sort of artists, current artists, would you say you look up to? Because I know you mentioned um Beanie Man and Elephant Man and
That was growing up.
growing up. Yeah. Now music has evolved so much. What sort of artists would you say you sort of, not, I don't want to say unique, but you sort of like kind of look to be like or similar?
To be like, I mean, to be honest with you, I really have no desire to be like nobody else. But as far as a level of genius that I would like to be on is a level of genius I would like to be on is more like a Kanye West, more like a pioneer in his own field. Like I'm gonna do some stuff that has never been done before.
You know, Kanye is mad, right?
You know,
Ah,
I'm not trying to use him um, for any other reason other than his musical genius and the fact that he pioneers so many different ways that culture is shaped and shifted. Other than that, his personal and all his decisions he chooses to make and all his statements that he blurts out randomly, please don't misunderstand my using him as an example of what I see myself like. So that's really that.
okay. We got a few people shouting you out. Monel Alexis is saying, "That's Jackie. Say hi for me."
Hey, what's up, Monel? Monel is my neighbor, and I was in her
Yeah.
and Mr. Doma and my Doma was like angels in my grandmother's life, even in my life too. a certain extent when just being real and open for the world to know when shit was tough at home. There's people like her parents that would ensure that we have something to eat and stuff like that. So shout out that whole family, every single one of them, including that dog and the grafted mango tree that I used to pick mango from. Yeah, that's up on it.
And also Jen Fabs is saying hi, always original from day one. You know who that is,
Yeah,
right?
Janelle, yeah, that's Janelle. That is Mr. Fabian's daughter. Mr. Fabian was the sports director in PSS. Um, that's his daughter right there. She was part of a group who used to do like collaborative musical things together as well. She too is very talented and is a musician in her own right, and very smart as well. So big up, Janelle. You already know.
Okay, guys, if you're just tuning in right about now, I just want to remind you to hit the share button. Okay, make sure you hit the share button so that you can share this video so your friends and family can enjoy the interview along with you. If you also are planning on probably hopping off because you're probably running out of data, because I know a lot of people in Dominica have that issue. So you're probably going to be running out or whatever. Just come back onto my website in 24 hours. I actually post the entire interview, the audio version as well as the video version, and you can actually download the audio version. If you want to download it and listen to it after, it's available for you in 24 hours. And the website, of course, jaeljoseph.com/PLOG. We're here with the Chantman from DA Dominica, to be exact. And we're just here, speaking with him and getting to know a little bit about him. Okay, so you left Dominica.
Mm-hmm.
What actually propelled you? What made you leave, and where to?
Where to? Well, that was the question that struck me one day when I was like, okay, this is all this place has. This is what it is. You're born in a certain part of the whole way things set up because you have the right here, then you have the hair, and then you have the waja up top. I was like below there, and then when I realized to get in the middle right here, it was gonna take too much ass kissing and stuff like that. I was like, well, I need out. So I immediately ventured out. I went back to where I was born, first of all, and worked, made some money, made some mistakes, and then continue moving on from there.
Okay, and currently you're in the U.S. You
Yes,
are in Atlanta to be exact.
yes.
What brought you to Atlanta?
Oof. Atlanta is like Black Hollywood. You know, they is Georgia is the South, so you still have you still have your rednecks and your people that don't get over the fact that black people are kings and queens, but you have a majority of black excellence out here, and especially in the entertainment field. So I figure why not? That it feels like home, so I'm home.
What sort of challenges do you face as an artist?
Challenges, support. Main challenge as an artist is support, and support not only in the sense of someone watch your video, but you know the attention span of individuals is very short right now. So you have to do some remarkable stuff so people can focus on you, and you have to consecutively do that over and over and over and over. Well, unfortunately, that costs a lot of money. So I see myself right now, more strategically making projects like save money, have a budget, have someone that could actually, properly get it into the hands or into the faces of the individuals that's going to really truly support it. So that's the main struggle. other than that, creating music, going doing shows and all that stuff is talala, talala. It's great. You people will see you doing shows here, there, and everywhere. But are you getting paid? Are you collecting on your royalties? Um, is everything going through the proper structure so you can pay your taxes and stuff on it? So that's the only obstacle, not really even an obstacle, I guess, just another part of the journey that I'm kind of more focused on right now. Because as far as creating the songs and the videos and stuff, that's easy. You can pay somebody a little bit of money, give you a nice little video, but what are you going to do with the video? What are you trying to do? You're really trying to compete and be on the charts so you can make some real changes, or you just trying to say, boy, you see Jackie new song and stuff like that. Everybody can have a new song.
You were recently featured on World Hip Hop, World Star Hip Hop.com. How did that happen?
World Star Hip Hop, I mean, World Star Hip Hop happened to a manager I had from New York at the time. Um, we still work together, but our relationship had just started as a duo, like, them managing me. And he happened to be the manager of Fabulous and Able You with the Hoodie, if anybody know those people. Um, and he linked me directly with the person that puts them on there. And that's how that happened. Really, no other science to it, but just being lucky enough to know somebody that knows somebody.
What sort of feedback you received when you were featured?
Feedback is from the World Star Hip Hop. You mean specifically? I don't think there was any significant changes, with what happens with World Star Hip Hop and the views on there and stuff. Part of the reason is because World Star Hip Hop is pretty cool, but if you don't have a notable person where they click on that person's name because they see that person's name, then the views will kind of just be based on what was collected during that time frame when it was at the top of their feed. Other than that, a lot of people who did not know me found out about me and very interested to see what's next. So that's why what's next is very important for me to do it the right way. But yeah, good positive feedback, but not as much as I expected. Mm.
All right, so World Star Hip Hop featured you. Where else have you featured, and what other projects? Because some folks might be coming on, they be like, but who's Miss Dana? Like what sort of project?
Right. I mean, I've done a lot of radio shows here. I've done a lot of concerts. I've done, you know, quite a number of cool things. But it's not even about the things that I did. I really focused on because most of the stuff that I didn't really go through the proper channels. So like for instance, I could say all of that, but how much of it did I get recorded? You know, how much of the crowd participation did I really document to now properly come and say, hey, well, you can go ahead and I mean, I could tell people go to my website, but half of, like, let's say 80% of the stuff that I do, nobody don't even know about it because I'm more about the results other than the braggadocious vibes. It has to be real for me to try to bring it out like that. You know, if if I don't have $1 million, then I gotta act like I do. I'm trying to get to it right now.
We got Prince. Just came on, says, "Way to go, Jackie West. Long haven't seen him. Saying thanks to me, I guess. You
Was
remember
that
Prince?
Princess Ja from the library?
Yes, yes.
Princess Ja, big up Princess Ja. Where Prince? Prince, where
Yeah.
you going?
The Prince is in Dominica. Trust me, I know. I,
Okay.
this is not coming Dominica. Um,
Yeah.
Now, if you were to leave Earth tomorrow, Jackie
Mhm.
Chantman,
Right.
Resilience of tomorrow. What would you like to be remembered as? Or who would you like to be remembered as? What sort of person would you like to be remembered
The stone that the builder refused is who I am. And becoming the head cornerstone in a lot of different parts of the world. That's what I want from it. Other than that, you know, that's it. I want kids that have similar growth, youth situations to look at me as an example of what they can do if they just focus on their God given skills and talent. That's what I really want from this whole thing, even our interview. Everything that I do is just so somebody else can look at me and be like, it can be done. You know, there's a million reasons why I should not be sitting here. You know what I mean? Talking to you on a positive note. So many different reasons. So many things happen in my life where I had to choose to do the right thing. And that's, I guess, being the stone that the builder refused calls for being really resilient, because you cannot allow the things around you, your immediate circumstances, to kind of throw you off your focus. Because if I had to think about my grandmother's house was falling apart while I was growing up in it, and then I had to take showers outside in a galvanized bathroom the whole time, and her, you know, not wanting too many people to know how we was living because it was very embarrassing and stuff. If I allow those things to really shape me or how I think, then I will be destroyed. So,
but wouldn't you say that it helped you to become a better person?
um, looking back at it, yes, I would say so. I would say so, but it's
You checking nobody don't want to go out.
nobody don't need to go through that. Nobody don't need to go through that type of stuff. Nobody don't need to. So if you can be instrumental in allowing somebody else to have an easier life, then power to you. And that's who I think God blesses the most. The people who have every, you know, they have every thought in their mind, and everything they get from that thing called life is really for the betterment of somebody else. Because to be honest, I it had times I had to play basketball and I didn't have basketball shoes, so I had to use my school shoes to play basketball. So the simple things that make a big difference, and I guess it makes you strong, but it also destroys your confidence for a long time too. It destroys you before it builds you up. It totally devastates your mind before you get that clarity. You go through depressive states and stuff like that.
What actually helped you get out of the rut, so to speak, like in terms of your way of thinking?
Besides my grandmother praying the rosary every day for me, um, um, I think me opening up myself to a better life just started becoming fascinated with the fact that I can change the course of this. I got fascinated with the fact when I got privy to the knowledge that my thoughts can control my destiny, then I started kind of protecting my thoughts and my time and my energy a lot more. And you know, actually, I will say my grandmother teach me how to pray, like exactly how to pray, and I think that kind of helped me a lot too, because there was times where I feel like you know only prayer could have done certain things for me, only prayer, and those moments when I prayed and I saw the results kind of helped me realize that, I'm not alone. And that's when my confidence started to build up because I'm like, okay, you see that? All right, cool. All right, cool. But Jah got my back, so moving forward, that's it.
What's next for you, Jackie?
What's next? Constantly focused on improving my circumstances and the people that come around me, um, making sure that they feel that good energy so they'll be more willing to, support what I do. So I have a lot of songs in store. I have some stuff. I record pretty much every night, at least 2, 3 choruses. Just search for some beats, just run through some vibes, and record just so I can have a vault of stuff to choose from when I want to piece the project together. In July, myself and this dude from Antigua, Kevin Clarence, we just dropped a project called Mango Juice. We have a project called Rum Punch that's gonna have 2 or 3 songs on it. They're gonna be dropped on all social platforms. You're gonna be on Tidal, Pandora, Spotify, YouTube, iTunes, Google Play, all that stuff. I have a song called Stick to the Script that is on my past project that I'm gonna redo. Actually got the beat already. You're gonna have a nice little visual for that. Stick to the Script is kind of like very important for me to drop that song because that's what I'm about, speaking to my vision and everything. So that's kind of like me being reborn with a razor sharp focus and stuff like that. Other than that, I have some, apparel stuff that I've been trying out. I have some hoodies that I'm gonna have for the fall, t-shirts and stuff that I have some printing right now for the summer and everything. More paintings, and hopefully I can get my materials and the equipment that I need to start making pottery because my father used to do that, and I have a knack for doing stuff with my hands. So that's gonna be something new for me. And that's that.
Are you excited about making pottery?
Huh?
Are you excited about that?
I'm super excited about it because I feel like growing up, I always used to come across his books and stuff that he left behind, and it used to fascinate me that you could take mud, pretty much labu, and make some beautiful stuff. So it's just kind of taking nothing, turning it into something. It's kind of similar to music and taking an empty canvas and splashing some paint on it, and somebody saying, "Oh my God, it's so amazing!" You know? Yeah.
All right, guys. If you just tuned in, don't forget you could ask your questions now. We have a very short time space. Want to ask any questions to the guests, so you can do that right now. If you missed the entire show, you just log in. It's okay. It
Yeah.
will be available 24 hours on my website. You can go on there and actually view it and leave a comment, say something, or you say something. Like I see while you're watching. I know I'm watching it. Just
Right.
say something. You know, so
Questions,
so just
questions, questions.
something. If you have any questions for Chantman, now is the time to do so. I just want to go back through along the timeline to share with you guys some of the things that have been coming up while we've been on the interview. For those of you who would be listening and who would actually not be of the podcast, don't forget if you want to follow Chatman, you can do so on his social media links. All his handles are right above this video. So right above there, all his social media handles are there for you to check him out. Megan is saying keep focus, um, keep plodding on, all the way up, keep going up, baby. Um, we getting thumbs up. Memsma is saying, keep going, Jackie.
Men's Maya. That's what men's Maya.
Yes, yes, Menzma. That's Monel's sister.
That's Mona's sister, yeah. Yeah.
And Marcus Charles is saying, bigging up the man, Jackman. I guess he knows
Yo,
me.
yeah, Marcus. I think Marcus Zika or Chance or something. Funny
Yeah,
guy. So that's the type of stuff I talking about. Like a dude like Marcus, right? Marcus, Marcus, along with man like Pascal and um, them dudes could be just like Kevin Hart and them fellas. You know what I mean? Them man have funny content. You spend a half an hour, you there laughing. You know what I mean? So shout out Marcus. You already know the team go, man.
He said Zikak. He said he's from
Zika,
Zikak.
Zika.
Yes. And you see, I'm gonna share with you, Jackie. I find like I really found that a lot of talent. I mean, I'm from Vegas, but I practically grew up in Portsmouth because I went to school all my life in Portsmouth. So the kids, the people I grew up with were mostly Portsmouth people, Portsmouth kids and stuff. And I remember,
I have a
just
question for you when it comes to that. I have a question for you, but go ahead.
I remember, just sitting down, on that bench outside the PSS under the this almond tree, you
Mhm.
know, or probably close to the guava bush, and hearing the kinds of things people would say, and you would
Guava
laugh.
bush, you like guava bush, not
I
true?
didn't go right inside of the guava bush. I was just
You like guava bush. The
right on
guava
the
bush, you like guava bush. You wanted to talk about this whole time never you playing part well. Okay.
corner. No, but I just remember how funny people would be, like the kind of characters that and people you laughed growing up, but you also made fun of it. You
Right.
stupid way, you can talk a caution way, and you
Right.
don't really realize, hey, that person just made you laugh until you cry.
Exactly.
Right?
Right.
And nobody nurtures that, nobody takes that on, and they consider you a fool throughout high school. So says a sort, he says a clown, he says a zeze, right? And then you leave high school probably with not too many subjects or no subjects at all, right? And then it's you're just supposed to be what? Like what happens, right? So
Right.
I found like a lot of talent wasn't nurtured, growing up. I mean, we went to school around the same time. You were a few forms below me, but we were in school around that same time, and I know there's so many talented
People.
people. I remember
Every
Do you remember when we used to have those
every single person. I feel like
those
every single person we went to school with have a special talent to do something.
you remember those school shows, when you had the
Yeah,
end of
of
school,
course.
and when you remember that year when Hilroy and Leandra and them when they did that play and people were screaming like people
Yeah.
like
That was
God.
that's like Emmy type performances. That's like Oscar type performances. For real.
Don't you just wish that there was some way that was documented? Because like those
Some of it was, but I don't know where those VHSs are. You know what I mean? We have to figure out who have them tapes. I know I had one, but I don't know what happened since I left with that specific tape. But yeah.
so much talent, these people
So we
had,
need
and
to start documenting now and push.
I know
No, that's the whole thing. There's a lot more talent to come. You know.
you had a question for me. I'm
Mhm.
even worried about that question.
Say what?
I'm worried about your question because you said you had a question for me.
Yeah, that question.
Oh, we're moving on. We're
Because you
moving.
had just said something about post. Like, what was that thing that Vegas parents used to tell their daughters about? Jaguatas. What was the jaguatas? What's the jaguatas mean exactly? That's
What
my
does what does Jaguar say?
yeah. When,
Jaguar.
when yeah, I know what it means in the essence of what it's supposed to mean. But when a parent from the countryside tell her daughter, "I don't want you with no jaguatas," what does that exactly mean? Like, kind of clarify that.
Well, my parents never said that to me.
You're a politician. Yeah, yeah. You're a politician. I suspect
my
you're a
parents,
politician.
my parents never said that to me. Okay, well, there's a lot that can be deciphered from that
Right,
statement.
right.
Um,
I
I
mean, we
remember,
all know what it is. I mean, I just
and
want
it was,
to see if you will
and it
actually
wasn't.
share.
I didn't get it from my parents or
Gotcha.
anything because my mom was a nurse in Portsmouth, and my mom knew a lot of Portsmouth people. So my mother would never try and segregate me from from Portsmouth. It was all about, we were like we were the first probably students from VCAS to go to school in Portsmouth from preschool. People started going to school in Portsmouth when you were of age for high school. In the
Right.
second school year. But I went to preschool. I went to Rapture Time preschool, and then I went to PGS. And then I went to PSS. Right. And it only had to do with my mother. My mother would never say anything bad about Portsmouth people or this. My aunt lived in Portsmouth. My aunt was the ward sister in the hospital.
So you telling me that you've never heard that at all?
I've heard it. I've heard
Okay.
it, and I know what it means. Which I'm getting to. I know,
Okay,
but
but it seems like as if you're dodging from the
know.
question and you're giving me a whole zaze muzai on the
No,
whole
no,
other
I
thing
want
that I
I want
really up to
clear,
now. You don't tell
right?
me what it's supposed to mean.
That these words were not told to me specifically. You know,
Got you.
I was not told do jaguantas and whatever because people would come up and check me all the time in Vegas. My
It
friends from
seems like I go to in peace, girl.
and whatever. But it mostly had to do with like I know like they felt like a lot of young fellas in Portsmouth were not brought up properly. Like when I
Okay.
say want, they always on the beach. They always on scooter, and that's what they saw. So they felt they didn't want their young girls fall into those sorts of characters. But that was not everybody because there were
Okay.
some really good guys. I mean, I got the best of both worlds, so to speak, because I was cool with everybody. So it was easy for me to, see the both sides of the coin and not just deal with they'll deal with Jean Guantas or whatever. And but it had nothing to do with um
It was anything else to do, but you saying basically it was them pretty much looking out for the best interests of their child.
like anybody else would do. And I'm sure if
But who
it
goes to
was
say that that person who was brought up with a family who was not on the beach is actually going to treat your daughter right?
Jackie, you sounding like a man scorned. Some mother tell some mother tell her child, don't deal with you because you're a young one. And now you try to ask me some kind of question here that has nothing to do with me being qualified for right designer. Right?
Oh gosh,
So,
man.
so let's not even go there. Let's just kibosh. Let's just kibosh that right now because
Listen, listen to me. Right now, I'm Capuchin and you in Soufriere. So just
pretty much,
listen. Alright, so go
pretty
ahead.
much. All right, so guys. I mean, I guess you had no questions. Everybody was just enjoying the vibe, enjoying. People kept messaging after Nadux is sending her heart eyes. Tony Carr is saying way up.
Way
Um,
up, stay up. You already know the thing well.
um,
Lay up.
we have a few people sending some shout outs. Nikima, who is the CEO of the Giselle, she just logged in. So that's that's
Big
that's
up, big up.
that's the boss lady of the Dominica. Just
Okay.
logged in. All right about now. But Jackie, it was Chantman Jackie. I know you
Yo,
as
you need to get with the program because the whole Jackie thing. Okay, you know what? Let me just let you have your whole Jackie. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I
Continue.
was like, if you had conti- I was waiting. Yo, I was waiting. You stopped yourself. I think you were feeling a pain coming out. You
Like
had
I tell you, the
I
older
was
I get, I
about
started figuring out what battles I should fight and the ones I should not. So,
and that one, just leave me with Jackie. Okay, just let it be. Right? I start
you have
telling
that.
you about how I know you. but Jackie, it was a pleasure, Chapman. I mean, it was a pleasure having you here on
Right.
faculty.
No,
I
the
mean,
pleasure was all mine. Believe me. I mean, I really take it as you know, I was humbled when you told me that you were, want to interview me on your show and everything. Because sometimes you think that all your efforts going into just going in vain. You know what I mean? But then a moment like you reaching out to me saying, "Yo," you know, to let the world know what's going on with you and
I see you. That's the bottom line is I see you.
right. So I appreciate you extending that opportunity to me and everything, and giving me a chance to connect with everybody on your wonderful show. So
Yeah, well, it's all about letting the world know about our little people with such big talents. I like to say we're little people because Dominica keep getting disregarded a lot of times.
mm.
Um, did you see my Buttercup's video
Yeah, my
on
buttercup. Shut up, my buttercup, man. I'm
for
so
Dominica?
I'm so proud of that guy. Like, it's just another example of, the opportunities that you that are not necessarily where you grow up, but you can still aspire to be those things as long as you have the willingness to go out and find the opportunity or create it yourself.
Yeah, and just so you know, Chapman, always going to be negative people. They're always going to be bullies. They come in all shapes and
Right.
sizes and forms, all kinds of styles, and they'll tell you certain things, and you might wonder, am I being bullied? Like, is that supposed to be like a compliment, or
Right.
what are you saying? Like they come in all different shapes and forms and sizes, and the way they come and the way they actually try to deliver their message.
Mm-hmm.
But it's about staying focused. It's about keeping your eye on the so to speak prize. It's about thinking, believing in limitless skies. It's about pursuing your dreams and not let anybody destroy them. It's about you being who you want to be and not who people think of you. And if a lot of us had to go by what people think of us, I don't think a lot of us would be where we are today. I know I would not be where I am today if I had to listen to the amount of fuckers people said about me,
Yeah.
right? I'm just telling you, it's all again about how you perceive yourself and how you want to be. And you've been doing positive things. There a lot of times they like to say, black men are doing this, black men are doing that, black men are doing the other, and they like to bring down black men, and you left Dominica and you are in pursuit of your dreams. And whether or not you might get to your dreams or take somebody else's dream from them, we'll never know until we just keep following you, right? And
Yeah.
I wish you all the best. I,
Right.
I really see a lot of good things from you.
I
And I
appreciate
remember
it.
when I got the link from World Star Hip Hop, I was like, hey, but Jackie, come out, man. So I just felt, let me connect with you and stuff. And I really want you doing your thing. Big up yourself. I kind of sort of waited to see, Mona Lisa put you up on, Love and Hip Hop. Would you go on Love and Hip Hop?
If I would, right now, not right now.
Okay.
Right. Well, I guess. I mean, why not? But as long as I can channel that attention onto you know
Your paper.
positive things about me, because it's so hard for people to fix you know perception of themselves. Once the public thinks or deems you in a certain light, it's very hard for you as an individual to fight that. So it is very necessary that if I do entertain that type of thing, that it would be very strict rules on how I would want myself to be seen on that stage.
Yeah. Don't let them destroy your image.
Nah, I want to be more of a positive type of guy. Then I don't really like. I mean, I like ratchet boom boom, but I don't like ratchetness.
Chapman, it was a pleasure. Thanks again for being on here with us on Kakuti. I really appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to joining us here and joining all of our beautiful fans who link in every single week. Again, the show, don't worry, you can always check it up on our website. And 24 hours, it will be there for you, both the audio and the video. I want to say thanks to every single person who tuned in. Really appreciate the love. And if you have not yet signed up to get a chance to win a free costume, compliments Kepler Culture for Crop Over 2018, now is the time to do so. So you can check out all the information on that is, of course, available in my timeline for you. So you can go ahead and check that out. Chantman, it was a
Yo,
pleasure. It was a pleasure.
yeah, the
To be
pleasure was mine.
you
Yeah.
drink.
Cheers to
Yes, cheers.
Cacoa Tea and mine.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, right, but
That, that didn't sound right.
I
But okay.
it was not said with any malintentions, okay? I was rhyming words and just being creative as usual.
Mhm.
You see, like every other thing creative is always left the resource to participate in whatever they
C'est
want.
pas chose qu'on connaît tout. Just remember that. Not too much. Any curious, right? Any curious, c'est pas chose qu'on connaît tout.
Yo, where we put on.
Hey, don't listen pata. You don't look pata, man. They say, "What's up, people don't pata."
Sabe, se o Salty Dominic o oblige para ali para
Ah, c'est pas tout de suite ça, c'est donc ça parle pata. Pas try ça.
é bem eu para Salty Dominic.
Parce que moi, tant j'en pas connaître qu'on parle pata. Et de
Moi para mon je boatas né.
c'est mon de la ozine.
De lá os esse mesmo bitel.
It was a pleasure. Thanks again for picking that Cacoa Tea. And thanks until next time. Next week, we got another exciting show for you. Tune in next week for another episode of Cacoa Tea. I'm Jael Joseph. Bye. Love you.
Bless up.